Alright, so today we're going to be learning about Mobutuism, or in French, Mobutuisme. So let's go. So Mobutuism, or in French, Mobutuisme, or Mobutuisme, was the state ideology of Zaire, which is now the present-day Democratic Republic of the Congo, during the latter half of the 20th century, when it was under the one-party rule of the Popular Movement of the Revolution, or the Mouvement des Populaires de la Révolution, or the MPR. Mobutuism encompasses and glorifies the thoughts, the visions, and the policies of the Zairean president and the self-proclaimed father of the nation, Mobutu Sese Seko. The ideology included such major Mobutu initiatives and innovations as Zaireanization. But let's see how far Mobutuism goes. So the Popular Movement of the Revolution, or the MPR, was entrenched as the single legal political party in a one-party state in Zaire. Originally, Mobutu Sese Seko designed the constitution of Zaire to have a figurehead opposition party, but later claimed that the constitution only recommended but did not demand this, and thus a one-party state was created and all other political parties were banned, blocked, and probably thrown in jail after 1966. The ideology laid out the Manifesto of Nasili, incorporated nationalism, revolution, and authenticity. Revolution was described as a truly national revolution, essentially pragmatic, which called for the repudiation of both capitalism and communism, but mostly communism, and favored national revolution. The Manifesto of Nasili also laid out the intentions of the government, which included the expansion of national government authority and services, a program committed to upgrading labor standards, having the country gain economic independence and self-sufficiency, and the creation of an authentic nationalism in Zaire. Now, Mobutu led the MPR and Zaire obviously as an autocrat, and denounced the idea of multiple leaders and political parties in the country, saying, "In our African tradition, there are never two chiefs. This is why we Congolese, in the desire to conform to the traditions of our continent, have resolved to group all of the energies of our citizens in our country under the banner of a single national party." So pretty sure Mobutu was like a Saiyan. No, he was like a free. No, he was a Saiyan. He's pretty much like the Goku trying to get a spirit bomb going. So makes sense all the people of the nation energies going into that spirit bomb. Catch what I'm saying? Now, very interesting topic. Mobutu and the MPR were presented in propaganda as being attributed to the divine and sought to replace Christianity in Zaire with a religious devotion to Mobutu, and the MPR with Interior Minister Igulu Banga Mapongo once saying to the supporters of the MPR, "God has sent a great prophet, a prestigious guide, Mobutu. This prophet is our liberator, our Messiah. Our church is the MPR. Its chief is Mobutu. We respect him like one respects the Pope. The gospel is Mobutuism. This is why the crucifix must be replaced by the image of our Messiah, Mobutu." Now, Mobutu and the MPR pursued a national cultural revival program in Zaire called Authentique, which I will kind of gloss over generally, but I will make a video about that. But if you think Mobutuism was crazy, wait till you get to Authentique. Now, beginning in 1967, Authentique, which sought to purge colonial European culture from Zaire and restore local culture such as forbidding Christian names and Western culture, while promoting local African names and African culture, as well as forbidding Western suits and other Western-ish aligned stuff, and created a state authority's uniform called the abacos. Now, the abacos is kind of like the Maoist suit, or like the pretty much worn down buttonish suit. I'll put a picture on screen for you, but pretty interesting suit, not gonna lie, pretty interesting suit. But with that being said, it's interesting because Zaire is actually a mispronunciation of the Portuguese word Nazinga, which is from Kilu, Congo. So pretty interesting. I think Congo is more actually the African name of that because it goes along the Congo Empire and the Kokongo River, or the La Congo River. But do you, Mobutu, do you? But now, the ideology still survives today in organizations such as the Nazanga Mobutu's Union of Mobutuist Democrats. Nazanga Mobutu is, as you can hear, Mobutu's son. So pretty interesting that he's trying to carry on the legacy of his father, but as a Democrat. So that's pretty interesting. But anyway, with that being said, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, that's pretty much it.